Welcome to Live Breathe Film, episode 66. You're here with Corey, Doug, and Murph. Thank you, as always, for joining us. Today, we're going to draft our picks for the biggest movies of the summer in our Live Breathe Film summer box office pool. But before we get to that, let's run through some box office news, some trailers, and what we watched recently, including the third entry in the Fantastic Beasts spinoff series. All right, winter spring box office pool. Obviously, we're going to be talking about the summer pool later on in the episode. But the winter spring one is coming to a close pretty soon. The last 2 weeks has seen a bunch of bombs be released. Corey had Fantastic Beasts. Doug had Ambulance. I had Father Stew. They all kind of flopped to varying degrees. Fantastic Beasts by far made the most, with more than Ambulance and Father Stew will make potentially combined. But the fact that it's a Harry Potter spinoff series, it should have done a lot better than a $42 million opening weekend. So I have to imagine this one is only going to make around a little over 100, because the Harry Potter movies weren't exactly known for having legs. But we'll see if this one can somehow create some legs out of its opening so far. Hopefully for fans of the series, it can do well enough that they can justify making at least the fourth movie. But right now it's looking like it could potentially end with 3 films. But we all saw it, so we'll get to it later on in the episode with our actual thoughts on the film. Sonic 2, on the other hand, has been performing very well so far. It's got $125 million. The first one, I believe, at about $160 million before COVID cut its legs, and it just went out of theaters with everything else from early 2020. But it looks like this one, after dropping about 60% in weekend 2, should hold better in weekend 3, and I don't know, get close to 180 to 200 million. But we'll see. We'll have a much better idea after weekend 3. As for where each of us stand in the pool, Corey's in third currently with 172 million. He still has The Bad Guys and The Northman both opening this week. Neither of them expected to open over 20 million. So Corey, you're definitely officially eliminated from a first place opportunity. But you have the opportunity for first place later on in this episode for the summer, with your number 2 pick. Doug, you're at 368 million after the weekend. All your films have now been released. You do have by far the most movies that are still making money in theaters. To varying degrees: Morbius, Sonic 2, and Ambulance. Sonic 2 being the one making really all of that money. Morbius, man, that shit fucking bombed in weekend 2.
It was like a rock, and
how much
it just sunk.
How much did it drop? How much did it drop percentage wise from week 1 to week 2?
70 something, 73, I think.
And that's like the highest out of like any superhero movie, right? Like
I believe
ever?
So.
No.
I thought I remember reading that.
Steel was the highest.
Oh, okay, Steel. All right.
So
we have to go all the way back to the
Steel.
90s.
That's
so any Marvel movie is the highest.
Insane.
Yeah, I think Steel has 74, and this at 73.
Yeah, I mean,
Something like that.
It's not a huge separation between.
Yeah, no. I mean, Morbius made considerably more money than Steel. Steel bombed on weekend 1, and bombed again on weekend 2. But Morbius was disappointment on weekend 1 and just a flat-out disaster on weekend 2. So no Morbius 2 for fans of Morbius, but maybe you'll see him in a Spider-Man adjacent film from Sony in the next few years. As for myself, I have 514 million. Like I said, Father Stew bombed, so really at this point I'm kind of done. The Batman's on HBO Max now, so I probably don't have more than another 15 million from my 5 movies combined. So I should end up with around 530. So Doug, we'll see if a miracle happens. Maybe you can.
I should close the gap. It's just it's not going to be enough.
Yeah,
I can see myself making maybe another 100 million.
Yeah, I can see that too. You'll certainly be over 400 million, probably closer to 450. So it was close, all things considered. And I think the summer one is going to be fucking nuts. Pending anyone like just completely fucking up their draft, the three of us should end up very close this summer. So we'll get to that later on in this episode. Let's talk some trailers right now before we get into what we watched. And that's Stranger Things 4 and Thor Love and Thunder. Stranger Things 4. We got our first like full look at the season. Definitely has a dark vibe to it, more so than previous seasons. They're getting older. I've heard the main influence of the season is A Nightmare on Elm Street, which makes sense since Freddy Krueger himself, the actor Robert Englund, is in the season. But what you guys think of the look so far, besides the fact that they look ridiculously old for having only supposed to have aged a couple like months from the previous season?
Yeah, I mean the overall tone is cool. Like I like how it seems like they're raising the stakes a bit. Seems like it's going to be, pretty intense, crazy season. I'm interested to see like who the villain is. There's an idea of what people are saying who it is, but that whole thing is going to be like really cool. But it really is distracting, like how old they look, like all of the actors.
They're like the ones who don't look like they've aged much are the older kids.
Well,
like,
yeah,
because they were already had gone through puberty when season 1 aired.
Mm-hmm.
So they can play their ages.
You want to know how you know they're old?
Why?
They're using CGI to de-age 11.
They are for 11?
Really? It looked like it, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
There were scenes in the trailer where she's got the short hair.
I thought that was a flashback from season 1 or something.
I don't think so.
I think that's a new.
It sounded flashback. Like there's a version of the trailer where the Duffer Brothers are talking, and it sounded like they de-aged her.
Interesting. Well, maybe they de-aged her for a flashback scene. It's
definitely a flashback. But
there's no reason she should look like she did in season. Okay, because there's no reason she should look as young as she did in season 1, regardless.
No.
But that's interesting. They're doing what they did to Finn Wolfhard, apparently in chapter 2. They de-aged him, right?
Yeah, it's chapter 2.
Yeah. Who's our bets? Who's gonna die? Who's gonna die this season? No one died in season 1. Then we had Sean Astin died in season 2, so like a supporting adult character. Then Billy died in season 3, who was very much like a supporting young character. I feel like we're at the point where one of the leads is gonna have to die.
Maybe the Mad About You guy. I'm blanking. Aliens guy.
Oh, Paul Reiser.
Paul Reiser.
All right. So nobody big. You don't think anyone big was actually going to die on this show?
Maybe Winona Ryder.
Yeah, it looked like they might be getting rid of. God, I'm blanking on everybody's name. The sheriff.
Hopper.
Yeah, it looked like
if they just killed him this time after they fake killed him,
it's kind of a weird thing to do to fake kill him and then kill him for real. But it looked like they were teasing that he could die.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, I think. Hopefully they steer away from that. Yeah, I told you guys when we were texting about it. I got vibes that Billy is going to be the big bad.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah.
Just because it was
which would be cool.
Seemed very geared towards Billy with them
mentioning him right at the beginning of the trailer.
Death, and he seemed to have a through line through that whole trailer.
Mm-hmm.
When it that main character appeared at the end, the new big bad, I was kind of feels like this is Billy.
Yeah, but
who the hell knows?
I wouldn't be surprised if I can't think of anyone's name either. The kid who went to the Upside Down, if his brother ends up dying or something like that, so then they can get the other two back together or something like that.
I was going to say Richie.
Because he's not getting... I can't think of any of their names right now. In real life or on the show. Because the one dude who isn't going to get with Maya Hawke's character because she's gay on the show, and like it seemed like they were going to set them up, but that's not going to happen now. So I wouldn't be surprised if they brought. Again, I don't remember not one character's name right now. So this conversation is a waste of time.
I remember Dustin was the character.
Will Byers. Will Byers.
Yeah, Will's brother, or
Yeah.
Will is Will. Will's the main character, right?
Yeah, Will's the main character. His brother was
the one who Charlie Heaton plays.
Yeah, Jonathan Byers.
Jonathan, yeah. And all right, I don't feel like going on Wikipedia to look up characters' names, so I'm just going to end my portion of this conversation. But yeah, I think they have to kill somebody of substance that's like a younger character on the show to raise the stakes for like.
Yeah, because they kill like an actual kid, like one of the kids.
They should. They should kill one of the kids. At this point, like whoever looks the oldest has to die. Because it's just gonna look ridiculous for season 5. Even more ridiculous.
They have like mustaches, like 5 o'clock shadows.
It's not gonna be Dustin. He doesn't look the oldest. He's starting to look like, I don't know. He's going through puberty in a bad way. It's awkward. It's awkward, this show at this point. Since they're no longer
trailer though overall.
Kids that they were. It didn't like grab me, and like I thought it was kind of weird with like the guitar playing and things like that. But I mean, I'm gonna watch it and enjoy it. I'm sure.
It reminded me of Mad Max in a weird way.
Yeah, I watched it a few times, and nothing about it like really pulled me in any of the times I watched it. But I don't know. It is what it is. I don't get the Hopper in Russia stuff. I think that's stupid.
Yeah, why is he in Russia? Like, how did he get to Russia?
And the idea of the characters being separated, I don't like either.
Yeah.
The Duffer Brothers said it's like it's going to be one of those stories where they're separated in the beginning and they come back together.
So like 11 in season 2, basically, but with like the rest of the cast. They're pulling Star Wars, like an Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Cool. Why did you like it as much as you did?
I don't know. Like a lot of the shots that they showed looked cool. Like them riding the bikes in the upside down looked kind of neat. I thought the big bad looked like one of the more interesting big bads that they faced because he's like talking and shit. I know Duffer Brothers were saying they were going for like a Freddy Krueger, like Pinhead, or like one of those guys that can talk and fuck with you a little bit, or like that type of character. I don't know. It looked interesting. I liked the music in the background. I thought it was funny that we grouped Thor and this trailer together because they both have like an 80s song being a predominant part of the background. And that hooks me in. I've noticed every time
they both feel very 80s also.
Is
one, obviously because it's set in the 80s.
Is this big bad supposed to be like I've been pulling the strings all along type of big bad? Does it seem that way? To me, I got that vibe.
I mean, if it's Billy, then it wouldn't be the case. But if it's somebody else, then it's possible.
I hope not. I hope they don't pull a Spectre.
Or
like all your troubles have been because of me behind the curtain.
Or a Palpatine in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the one below Spectre in Bond? I know I'm getting a little sidetracked, but it was like first it was the guy.
The Quantum? No.
It was Quantum.
Quantum Solace? Yeah.
Quantum and Spectre. There's groups underneath groups.
Going back and watching those movies, and it's like, oh no, it's like Quantum Spectre is really running everything, and then it was like, oh no, Quantum is a subdivision of Spectre.
They're like, Quantum Solace was kind of disappointing. We need to make and now we got the rights to Spectre. So Spectre, you're in charge of Quantum. and
But-
Silva and everyone. The Sheaf, doesn't matter who.
Yeah,
Kate
it just
said
would've
she will
been-
die if Hopper dies.
I think a lot of people will feel that way.
I don't
yes.
think they're going to kill him. I think he's the most important character on the show.
They already like fake killed him. They're not going to do it again now. At least if they do.
Yeah, I
it's
agree. That's
stupid.
like a weird decision to fake kill a character and then kill them right after. You've lost emotional investment, like how people should respond by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I saw
But
the internet was
I think
saying
it's
that
possible.
the big bad for Stranger Things could be Barb. The Barb is now like, coming back.
That would be
Justice for
Oh
Barb.
my God, that would be crazy.
They just tie it back.
She has like vengeance in her heart from like after what happened to her.
That'd be funny.
Oh my God.
Yeah, hopefully they don't do that for like story purposes. But I thought that was funny that some people were thinking it was Barb.
Yeah.
So
All right.
the rollout for this show, they're doing part 1 and part 2, and it's 4 episodes each. Is that how this is working? Or 5 episodes?
I think it's 5 and 4.
5 and 4, and then season 5 will come out in like 3 years
Yep. Totally.
when they're
And it'll probably be split in half as well.
cool.
Because that seems to be Netflix thing now, is splitting shows in half.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys see? I mean, I feel like this
like-
is content related, but Netflix announced that they're like, their Netflix's
Yeah.
stock like took a 25% hit.
Well, they're bleeding subscribers. They lost what, like 220,000 subscribers, something like that.
200,000, and they're going to lose another like projected like million or something like that. Millions. Yeah, well, I mean, this is what happens when you fucking spend money on every dumb thing under the sun, and like
Mm-hmm.
so much money on things that companies that like understand how to spend money are saying no, this isn't like the right thing to spend money on. We've been saying forever, like, how are they going to be profitable with this $9.99 subscription? And then eventually you raise prices so much and so often that people unsubscribe.
Yep.
Or you can't fucking air your thing in Russia and you lose 70,000 subscribers because of a war. Like,
Yeah.
and everyone else develops a streaming platform. There's
Well, that's
competition
been the
now.
problem. They have like real competition because
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
studios develop IP and they put their movies in theaters, and then they can just pull that IP and deploy it elsewhere without having to develop new characters or get people invested. Like Disney's just like, we've got a bunch of IP, we're just gonna keep pumping out shows, and we're gonna throw all of our movies on there, and we can charge $9.99 or $7.99 or whatever the hell they're charging just to like,
Have a presence.
yeah,
Yeah.
just to get subscribers.
Yeah, and like these places have their own platforms now, so all their top like AAA content is going to their platforms and not going to Netflix. Like Disney's not sending their good stuff to Netflix or anything to Netflix anymore because they have Hulu as well. Paramount has Paramount Plus. Universal has Peacock. There's not much that can go to Netflix outside of existing deals that already took place.
Or Netflix originals.
Yeah, all they got is Netflix originals and movies from Sony, and like the smaller studios.
Yeah.
So they're, and even the smaller studios work with other people. A24 works with Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
So they're
Yeah, it feels
they're
like Netflix
in bad
is in
shape.
trouble. I mean, they're talking
Yeah.
about cracking down on password sharing and
Just only
Yeah,
gonna
charging
piss
an
more people
extra
off.
$3 for each user. Like, give me a break.
something like that. And they're talking about, maybe doing a cheaper version that has ads. And I don't know, it just feels like they're going to like, to try to
It's the
stay
beginning of the
profitable,
end.
they're just going to destroy themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna become Blockbuster.
Because I'm kind of like, and what's funny is they destroyed Blockbuster. But
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of feel like I'm on the edge of like, why do I even have Netflix anymore? So like,
Yeah.
if they push hard enough, like with some of those crackdowns, I could see myself being like, and I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, maybe they shouldn't give fucking like $100 million deals to comedians. Maybe that's like one thing that they shouldn't be doing. Or however much they gave like Chappelle and all the biggest ones. Like, get you some subscribers, but it ain't getting you that many. So
Yeah, it's interesting because they're very like algorithm based. And like, does that work?
yeah, they're also very let's make anything in the world and hope it sticks, and then cancel it and piss off people left and right. By canceling all the content that you put out that people get invested in. I don't know. They don't run a business that makes much sense to me, in comparison
Yeah.
to competition and
I
the
agree.
history of successful businesses. All right. Stranger Things will be out in the end of May. We'll talk about it when it premieres on Netflix, the floundering streaming platform at the moment. Let's talk about Thor: Love and Thunder. We've got the teaser this past week. It's very much a teaser. We get no hints of the villain. We get no real looks at any new characters. We get one little look at Natalie Portman as Lady Thor. That's the big, exciting reveal of the trailer. I don't think we're getting Guardians for much of the movie based on it. I think they'll be gone within the first half an hour. What did you guys think? I think kind of looked more like of the same of Ragnarok as far as tone goes.
Yeah, the tone is definitely like Ragnarok. It's hard because we really didn't get a lot. Like we saw the Guardians, we saw one snippet of Lady Thor, but we didn't get
So
anything.
on the back of Russell Crowe, for a second, as
Yeah, because he's playing
Yeah,
Zeus,
and I
right?
didn't realize that was him, and I read
Yeah,
online that was him, and I was like, "Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome!"
yeah, it's the
That's
same
great.
thing. But we didn't get Christian Bale. We didn't get the villain, so we don't even know how that's gonna the tone of that character. How he's
But
gonna play out.
it's a teaser, so you don't really need to bring
No, I
your
know,
main villain out.
but
How did you think it did as a teaser?
it was okay. I mean, it didn't. It was fun. Like I
Are
enjoyed
you
it, but it wasn't.
are you more excited than you were before you saw the teaser? Or are you less
Uh,
excited, or just as excited?
no, I'm definitely more excited because now there's something substance wise, but I'm not like, oh my god, this is amazing. Uh, I was hoping for a trailer. I was kind of disappointed in that respect because I was hoping
Yeah,
for a
I'm
legit trailer.
Kate messaged crap trailer, and I'm gonna probably agree with her. I'm less excited after seeing the teaser, just because it didn't do. It, I don't know. It didn't do anything. I want to actually know what the fucking movie's about,
There
and
was
not just
nothing to it, yeah, but
But we're
yeah,
gonna get a real trailer in 2 weeks. I mean, what kind of time frame
Oh,
are they
totally.
on
We're
for
gonna get a trailer. We'll get a trailer in the next month.
yeah.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that as a first piece of marketing, I'm less excited for this movie than I was before I saw the trailer. And
And
that's a
Well,
failure.
good. Maybe you'll draft it lower in the draft so I can get it.
I mean,
Perhaps.
it's still going to make a lot of money, and I just think the way that they did this, completely it adds up to all the rumors that have been going on where they they were doing reshoots. There's still stuff that's being worked on, and they don't need to really release anything. It's not that they're having trouble with the movie. I think that they're taking their time. They know that they don't really have to market the movie in a traditional way. It's going to make money, and they're just okay, this is the very last minute that we can release something, and they're just kind of just throwing a carrot out there, and they're going to show the full trailer when they're done with it in a month.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's stupid. I think it's
I wouldn't have
frustrating.
even bothered with this trailer. Just because general audiences aren't gonna understand what this movie's about from the trailer. You wouldn't understand what the movie was about if you didn't read every synopsis or everything. When I say you, I mean the three of us. Every character leak and everything like that. It was so much of a tease that it doesn't even compare to any of the other Marvel movie teasers. They at least gave you an idea of what the movie was going to be about.
I wonder if this was strictly internally, Marvel's marketing team was their PR team was we cannot go into this with like a trailer, a first reveal trailer at the end of May or whatever. Like we need something, and they probably pushed, and they were like, all right, fine, here's like a 90-second trailer that doesn't need to exist.
Yeah,
so they can like clicks.
I don't know. If Doctor Strange comes out in 2 weeks, I don't know if it opens internationally beforehand, but like if we got another trailer in 2 weeks, then they should have just waited in 2 weeks. Just so the talk would be more exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it'll
trailer at the end of Multiverse of Madness. Or
that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Maybe that'll happen. Yeah,
perhaps. It would be weird if 2 movies in a row we get a trailer instead of a scene.
I also feel I also feel that like completely kills, the momentum that would kill the momentum for Doctor Strange. Like if they did that, and if they released the trailer at the same time or like a week later,
What if Doctor Strange what if the Multiverse of Madness plot has like a big effect somehow on Thor, and so they're holding back?
People were saying that
maybe Wolverine is like is in the movie. Is a big part of the movie.
Yeah, people were saying that
the posters.
Yeah, the posters were cool. People were saying that like the main villain Gore, Christian Bale, like has like something to do with Multiverse of Madness, but obviously it's just rumors. But the comic book call outs were really cool in the trailer. That's the one thing that I really enjoyed. Like there were some like specific shots that were like literally pulled from like the comic page of like Mighty Thor, which was neat.
I thought Hemsworth looked like he was gonna be super funny again. The like one funny scene they had where they have Thor like looking at Chris Pratt's Star-Lord, I thought was funny. I thought
that was
Chris
funny.
Hemsworth did a good job of like selling it as he always does. I mean, I think Chris.
Oh, he's gonna be great.
The best thing they did is like move Chris Hemsworth more to like a comedy role with the character of Thor.
Yeah, making him more of like a dumb jock type character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Music choice was, I thought, good with Sweet Child of Mine.
Yeah.
Makes me think of Step Brothers every time I hear that song.
Yeah. Good point.
Just hear like, you're flat.
So we think like in a month. So the end of May,
they have to
we'll probably have a trailer.
They have to drop another trailer soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking probably like by Top Gun. I mean, they can't wait until Lightyear, and which is practically the end. Disney's next big movie, which is practically the end of June.
Mm-hmm.
I would guess they package it with Multiverse. Like, where else would you package a first trailer? And they'll probably only do like 2 trailers, right?
It's gonna be this and one. Nah, it'll be this one we got, and which I think this one will be with Doctor Strange, and then we'll get another one, like a full trailer, which will probably be with Top Gun or Jurassic Park at the latest. Jurassic World.
It's crazy because the release date is July, like mid-July.
Early July.
Early July.
8th, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they did stick with that date. It is in the trailer.
Mm-hmm. Pretty wild.
Yeah. But all right, let's stop talking about trailers and start talking about full-length movies we've actually seen. We got Ambulance to talk about and Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore. Let's talk about Ambulance first, since only 2 of us saw it, and then we'll get into Fantastic Beasts. Ambulance, the latest Michael Bay film, stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. It deals with them both as part of a job robbing a bank. Yahya is not one who wanted to do it, but ends up doing it. They're brothers. What are they? Half brothers or step brothers or adopted brothers?
I think Yahya's character was adopted. I think. Yeah.
So they rob a bank. They end up having to hijack an ambulance with one of the cops that got shot during the robbery to get away. And then it's basically a 2 hour or an hour and 45-minute car chase from that point on. I described it as if Michael Bay saw Mad Max Fury Road, second Fury Road episode reference of the day. If he saw it and was like, all right, I can't top this movie, but I can definitely make the Michael Bay version of it. And that would be like my one sentence review of this movie. It was a blast, but yeah, it's very much in that it's just a one long car chase with a lot of character development. Well, a decent amount of character development for the few who are in it. Isaac Gonzalez is the ambulance worker that is stuck in the ambulance with them, along with the cop that was shot. Corey, what were your thoughts on this ridiculous film?
I really liked it. It felt like it was refreshing because it felt like an early 2000s action movie, but in like all the best ways. Like, and it had like just the right amount of cheese, and the action scenes or scene was really well done. And I thought the characters were pretty well developed for the most part. Like Jake Gyllenhaal, I really liked.
He wasn't. I don't think he was very like he didn't change much at all throughout the movie. Mm-hmm. But yes, he was definitely a well drawn like psycho type character.
And I think, and I guess what I really mean is his relationship with his brother, with Yaya, like that I guess is what really developed from, the beginning to the end. You really saw like kind of like what that relationship is and was probably like when they were kids, and like how they grew up together, and like, his dad or their dad, who was, a thief, bank robber type of character. I mean, Yaya, like I like him in everything. Like he's just such a great actor. His character was definitely not very complicated. Like he was kind of a one-note character, but I think like the character developed a little bit more in the second half of the movie. And then the end was great. Yeah, even the way that the movie ended was kind of surprising. I was, as it went on, I was like, how is this going to go? Like, what's going to happen here? Because it just kept going and continuing. But I thought it was fun. If you like his movies or these types of movies, it was good. And we talked about this, the quotes. Some of like the one-liners in the movie were hilarious because they were like nods and Easter eggs and poking fun of like Michael Bay's previous movies.
Yeah, it was a love letter to Michael Bay films as well.
Yeah, it was, and they were done in like really, really clever ways, which I thought was funny. I was like half expecting like Nicolas Cage to like show up.
Yeah, I mean, I love Michael Bay films, like for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like guilty pleasure of mine, like the movies he makes. Like you're gonna get tons of dumb shit, like dumb one-liners, crazy, ridiculous action set pieces, humor that is way past its prime, as far as what society deems funny at this point. But I still can't just help but enjoy like the shit he puts together. It's just so him, and I don't know, he's kind of like an auteur, like one of the few directors who you like watch and you're like, yep, that's a Michael Bay movie. Like you just know it immediately, which only so many directors like have that sort of style nowadays.
I also I appreciated that, like it seemed like he tried to do some different things, like the way he shot the movie compared to what he's done in the past, which I thought was really cool. Like there was like shots and like some like things that he did with editing that I was like, whoa, like I've never seen this in any of his movies. Like the stuff with the drone, like it looks like that there were shots done with a drone, either
yeah, he might have had stuff like
reversed.
Mm-hmm. He might have had stuff like that in Six Underground, but that movie was so fucking terrible that I don't even remember.
I never saw it.
That is by far the worst movie he ever made, at least that I've seen. I did not see the two Transformers sequels, or the final two Transformers sequels, or 13 Hours.
I feel like I did, but I've blocked them out at this point.
Doug, you have any questions about this movie? You gonna watch it based on our reviews?
No.
Why not? Why wouldn't you give it a shot?
It's just
You want to watch Moonfall and you won't watch this?
Moonfall seems like a fun time. I don't know. There's something about this that I think the Six Underground is just like it's. I'm kind of turned me off on Michael Bay for the moment.
Which is fair, but I mean, keep in mind this is Michael Bay's highest rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes. It's like this and The Rock are neck and neck.
Really? Wow, that's awesome.
They're his only two fresh movies on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really, Transformers wasn't fresh?
Nope.
That was a mistake. I feel like that movie was good.
Oh, they make a lot of mistakes. Armageddon should be fresh. Transformers 1 should be fresh. Bad Boys should be fresh. Bad Boys 2 probably shouldn't, but I still love it. The Island was pretty good. Pain and Gain's pretty good. Like he's got a decent amount of good movies, and then he's got like his shitty ones like Pearl Harbor and the Transformers sequels. But yeah, what were you gonna say about Ambulance? Or do I think it's as good as the critics say?
I was asking if you because you said that and The Rock are his two highest, and I was just wondering if you thought that this movie was comparable to The Rock.
No, it's not It's not comparable to The Rock. The Rock's like I fucking love The Rock, but right. I give this one 4 out of 5, which wasn't what I was expecting going into it based on the trailers.
Yeah, that's pretty high. Is that all just based on action? Because it didn't look like the story was.
Jake Gyllenhaal's a lot of fun to watch. He gives it his all. It's just like he gives a crazy performance. Yaya's got a decent amount of like depth to his character. Isaac Gonzalez gives a really good performance as well in like a role where she's essentially a hostage the entire time. Garrett Dillahunt is kind of goofy in his like cop role of trying to take them down, but he gets some stupid one-liners and is like still a good character actor as usual. It surprisingly got me at the end. Like I could have shed a tear in the way like the movie ended, which I was very surprised. So it's a good. I swear to God, this movie was a good movie. So I wouldn't mind hearing and it's gonna fucking play on your TV, Doug. You watch this on 4K with your surround sound.
It's gonna look awesome.
Wait till then. Watch it like that, and then let me know your thoughts.
That sounds good.
I'm not gonna do that, but okay. All right.
I had an idea. I've decided that I think I know what movie you're gonna pick in the draft, which I know we're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
So I'm writing it down on a piece of paper.
You figured it out the day of. You can show it now, and I'll tell you if it's right.
There's no suspense in that. So I've got it on a piece of paper.
Boy. You're probably right.
The side.
You're probably right, and that's why we shouldn't have talked about Thor already. All right. Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. Third and likely final chapter in the Fantastic Beasts series. I wonder if this was the original third move, like when it was originally going to be 3 films, if this was what we were going to get for the third film, and the other
Can't
2.
Imagine.
You know, so this probably would have been the second film. It probably would have been a combination of 2 and 3, is my guess. Would have been the second film in that trilogy, and then 4 and 5 would have been the final film in that trilogy. But how did you think it did as both like a middle chapter of a 5-film series and as a potential finale?
I mean, I will say that I definitely enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as like a third film. If I think they tied it up pretty well and like left it open to interpretation. But knowing that there's more to the story, I'm like, now I just want you to finish it. Like, I want it to be completed. So I guess it was like somewhat satisfying in both accounts, but it just makes me want like them to finish it, even if it's just one more movie. Like, do it in one more movie, which probably won't happen, but that's what I would want.
Yeah, so I walked out of it and I was like, oh, that, I had a better time than I thought I would. But like as a cohesive story, I don't know. I don't like see
certainly.
I mean, like Ezra Miller is set up to be like the big bad or like one of these big bad characters in the first movie, and then he's kind of in the second movie, and in the third movie it's like he's kind of just like he feels like a character that they just had to address. It's like he's still here he is, but he's not gonna do anything. He felt pointless. He felt completely pointless in this last movie, and his story was the biggest. Was like basically the whole plot of the first and second movie was his story and who he is, and the whole setup around that. And I was confused because the second movie ended, and Julia, my wife, explained to me that, he's Dumbledore's brother. And then the third movie, they're like, oh no, he's not Dumbledore's brother. There's this other guy that you haven't met before, and that's Dumbledore's brother, and this is really Dumbledore's like nephew. And it was just like, okay, like I don't care. He feels like very removed from Dumbledore at this point that I don't really. And I guess I should specify Albus Dumbledore.
Yeah,
that, like his importance seems like not really that.
It's funny you mentioned that. It's funny you mentioned that because when I was driving home after seeing this, I was like, didn't they say that whatever his name is, Ezra Miller's character was Albus Dumbledore's like brother in the last one? And I'm like, I think I might have to rewatch the second one, or at least look this up to figure it out. Like, did they rewrite it? Yeah. So I'm glad you said
they made it. They made Grindelwald a liar, like they made
Credence
Kylo Ren a liar in Last Jedi, talking about Rey's parents.
Yeah, it was a retcon for sure.
But that character felt he was such a big focus of the first and second movie. It felt weird that they were just like, oh yeah, he's dying.
It felt weird that he was ever a focus, to be honest. Wasn't a good character in any of the movies. And because Ezra Miller is losing his mind, unfortunately, and if they do make a fourth one, they're just going to kill the character off in between movies.
Yeah,
because there's supposed to be a big time jump in between 3 and 4, because the series is supposed to end in the 40s, and we're only in 1932, I believe. So I think the fourth one probably would jump all the way to the 40s.
Do you think they had already cut some of Ezra Miller's stuff out? Because it just was weird how little he was in that movie.
When did that whole thing happen? When did that whole thing happen with him? A month ago, initially? At this point?
Which thing? He's been in trouble, getting in trouble since 2020.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I think they could probably take the Fantastic Beasts out of the name of this movie.
They probably should. If they do make another
one, not really in the movie anymore anyway.
They probably should just change the name of the next one to like Dumbledore's Army, and that : something else, and do that for like the final two, because it's turned in from a Fantastic Beasts series to a Dumbledore protege series. So they might as well just go all in on that, because it's stupid that they keep calling it Fantastic Beasts.
Right. They shoehorned like the beast that wound up being the main portion of the story felt so unnecessary. Like it felt like they were like, all right, we've got this Dumbledore Grindelwald story. Let's try to figure out how we're gonna incorporate a beast in some way, shape, or form. And they were like, I've got the perfect idea. Let's brutally kill a bunch of beasts. And
fantastic ways to murder beasts. Fantastic Beasts and how to murder them.
Not a kids movie, in my opinion.
No,
Yeah,
I
I think people
agree.
who love animals are gonna be really disappointed by this film.
All right, I'm gonna just say it. Like spoiler alert, spoiler talk about Fantastic Beasts. I mean, the movie starts out with
You seem
like,
so passionate right now.
well, the mother, this like mother deer, basically is giving birth to a fawn, and the mother gets brutally murdered so that they can get their hand, so the bad guys can get their hands on the fawn. Turns out she gives birth to another fawn that's also small and cute. And the beginning is basically just what's his face, the goofy main character.
They're called chillins, Doug.
No, yeah, the Chillins.
And also, his name is Credence. Just so we know.
Well, that was the old character. This is a new character that I can't remember what his name is. But yeah, so he's basically hugging the mother and like letting the mother know that like, hey, you got twins, congrats, and like you just see like a tear go down the mother's eye as like her dying moment was like she realized that she had two. It was just like, cool. This is a good way to start a movie. And then it just gets worse from there. You have friggin' Mads Mikkelsen get his hands on the one twin of the fawns and just like immediately slits its throat.
Yeah, that was really brutal. Like really brutal.
And you're just like, it doesn't get better from there. Then he like bathes in its blood. He resurrects it.
Yeah, he resurrects it.
And you have this like pale corpse reanimated version of the cute little fawn going around. It's just like, what the fuck? It was just like, what am I watching? Why did they keep brutally like killing and like reanimating these like cute little creatures? Like, I don't know. It was a bizarre choice. I don't understand why they went there. And really for the bizarre purpose of Mads Mikkelsen's character, Grindelwald, however you pronounce his name, tricking the Wizarding Society because these things bow to somebody that's good. And so if it bows to him, these like clowns that form the Wizarding Society are voting for whoever that thing bows in front of. It was just like, it was such a weird, like when you think about it, it was a weird choice. It all goes down very weirdly with the bowing beast, and everyone voted for Grindelwald because the reanimated corpse bowed to him, and they're like, oh no, that was the fake reanimated one, here's the real one. And then it bows to somebody else, and they're all like, oh, well, in that case, let me change my vote, and they shoot up a different.
It was the recount.
It was just kind of like, it's a dumb story when you think about it, and they just like, they didn't need beasts in there, and it felt like they kind of struggled to figure out how to incorporate those beasts into the movie. So
yeah, I mean,
I say just get rid of the beasts, get rid of Newt. I don't really whoever the other guy is that had like the toy wand, he can go to.
Jacob's like the only character I like in the series, like outside of like Dumbledore. Like I don't know. I think they did a pretty good job with that character.
Well, I said this to Murph yesterday. Like, I never liked Jacob, and by the end of this movie, I actually really did like him. I liked what they did with that character in this film.
I thought
I thought the chillin' was gonna bow to him.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah.
Everyone's minds would have just exploded.
Oh no, we've got to vote for this guy now.
Yeah, this muggle is now our leader.
Oh man, those dumbass wizards just vote for whoever the chillin' bows in front of.
Yeah, they have a stupid way of voting.
It doesn't seem very efficient.
Oh
at
yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this, Groundhog's Day? Like, this is how you have an animal fucking determine like this important thing.
It did feel that way. And like the chillin clearly did not look right. It clearly looked dead. It did not look like an alive version of that animal if it existed. So, who are you fooling? Come on, people. There should have been a vetting process.
Clearly,
here.
everyone is fooled.
Why isn't there a vetting process? Someone could just bring in a reanimated dead chillin like this. They didn't think about this process?
No, the chillin's fine. Like, everything's good, and it just drops down.
Yeah, it just dies.
That fucking German prime minister or whatever the fuck he was
yeah,
clearly like in Grindelwald's pocket.
Yeah.
Also, why? I was expecting, and I swear I read this, that they touched upon why Mads Mikkelsen, like why the Grindelwald character changed, and he
doesn't look like Johnny Depp anymore,
and why he doesn't look the same. I swear I read that somewhere, and they definitely. I asked Murph, I asked Kate. They definitely mentioned nothing. Like the characters were just like, "Oh, it's the same person," you know.
I was fine with that. Like, we all know why Johnny Depp's not in the movie.
Yeah, but I feel like when you make them look so fucking different, like
and he acted different.
It was like a cartoon character, and then this one is like an actual fucking actor performing with normal hair and dresses normal. Like, I thought was strange. It was like
Very
they went
bizarre.
from Colin Farrell to a cartoon back to a human person.
Yeah. I don't know. I was happy to have Mads there. So
I was too. I just would have liked one line of dialogue for why he looked the way he did.
Can
like,
we? Can
I
we all
need to
agree
clean
that
up my I need to clean up my appearance now that I've gotten exonerated. Like I probably shouldn't look like a crazy person if I'm trying to take over the wizarding world.
Just turns into Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah. So
yeah, I guess
I don't know.
I guess they could have. I was just gonna say, can we all agree that the best part of the movie was like the crab part?
No, that was the worst part of the movie.
I thought that was hilarious.
Are you joking?
I thought it was funny.
Oh god, I thought it was so fucking bad.
I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was
clearly like supposed to be funny, but I was like, this is fun.
It was supposed to be funny. The audience loved it, and I was cringing the entire time. I thought it was stupid in the trailer, so I wasn't surprised that I thought the same in the full length.
That was the most
version.
Fantastic Beasts part of the movie. It was like the goofy Newt.
Yes, it was. Newt sucks though. He's just a shitty character. Like you said, they probably should just get rid of him and have a different lead for the final two.
I mean, they have their leads,
or make him a clear supporting character. Yeah, you're right. Just have him be a supporting character. His fucking lady friend who disappeared for the entire movie. They can, I don't know, get married or something.
She was promoted.
Yeah, she was promoted, like, what was it, like head of like the Ministry of Magic in like the US or something?
She was promoted
to this movie.
And she showed up for like 3 seconds.
Catherine Watterson, congratulations. Your character's promoted. He's got a really cool position. The only problem is you're not going to be in the movie for more than 2 minutes anymore.
Why did she even show up? Like, whatever.
Contractual obligation, I would imagine.
So you're going to be in 2 minutes of this film and
say
maybe one word.
Because her character ultimately gets married to Newt. So, like, that's why they had to throw her in it.
All right. So she was the head of Aurors. That's what she was.
So she could be the head of a couple of the Weasley kids in the future, I guess. If she's still alive. I mean, it's probably still alive. Minerva's still alive.
Yeah, we saw Minerva, and that was in this one.
When they brought her that character, when it brought her in, I'm like, oh, that's definitely McGonagall. I thought that was kind of cool. It was a nice little thing for the fans. And they had a lot of Harry Potter music in the movie too.
Yeah, we had the obligatory like, here's Hogwarts.
Aurors is the same role as Theseus. what were the Weasleys? They were like the head of classes or something like that. I guess they weren't Aurors. I'm seeing the comments that are coming in.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Doug?
I just thought like the Hogwarts thing felt kind of cheap. They were just like, oh, we have to go to Hogwarts so we can play the music and show the castle. And there was
And
like,
show the kids in school.
but there was like 5 kids. After the movie ended, I was like, there was like 5 kids at Hogwarts. Like, what the hell was that?
COVID.
Summer vacation. I don't
They had COVID restrictions, lockdown.
It just like it didn't feel like Hogwarts at all because it was just like
Empty.
here's these 5 kids that from Slytherin that are just gonna like cause some trouble.
Yeah.
One thing that is
Wacky
coming
little
to mind,
Slytherins.
one thing that comes to mind that I was thinking during the movie, during that scene when they were in Hogwarts, they normally that's a set, and like they clearly did not use the same set in this movie. It was like mostly like just like CG background, which I thought was weird. Like in the main hall.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just didn't feel like taking it out of storage because they certainly still have all that shit. They were just like, no,
I wasn't happy
no.
with the Hogwarts piece of it because I was just like, I thought there was going to be like more part of the story, and it was just like detour to Hogwarts. Here comes the Harry Potter music.
Yeah.
So we have the cut for the trailer.
I will say
that's the only thing that'll get people excited. It's more Harry Potter references. Less Fantastic Beasts, more Harry Potter.
I will say I really Jude Law's like great as young Dumbledore.
I like him.
Yeah, I mean, my wife pointed out like he's great as long as you like completely ignore the fact of who Dumbledore becomes, which is like wears these long robes and
he wears a
hats.
fucking muumuu.
Well, I mean, I would.
Meanwhile, like Jude Law is like wear these nice like ties,
dapper clothing.
Yeah, and very dapper.
I suppose they would explain it eventually, but maybe not because they didn't explain why Grindelwald changed. So maybe they just ignore it.
He just got like old, I guess, and wanted to be comfortable in his muumuus.
Exactly.
They do look comfy.
I'm guessing that's the explanation. He just
I wonder how that movie would have played in other countries, like because they were much more explicit in the like romance between the two characters than I was expecting.
I think in certain countries it was cut, like a lot of that.
Yeah,
stuff.
like I wonder how much.
I read about
cut.
that.
Like, did they just cut the entire like first scene of them like in the movie, like at that dinner table?
At least half of it.
A lot of like a lot of major stuff, like is around the fact that like they were like into each other.
Yeah, they were lovers.
I read for China that they cut 2 scenes for the movie. They cut, I think, the beginning scene
completely.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow. And the scene
and
where they're talking about the thing with why they can't fight each other, which is huge.
Artifact or whatever. Yeah,
probably.
It's a huge part of the movie.
But I guess like Warner Brothers made sure that it was the references to their romance were segmented enough that you could cut it and still ship it over to China.
Yeah. All right. Anything else about Fantastic Beasts, or you want to get into the draft?
Do we think that we're gonna get any semblance of another movie or anything?
If they do, they need to cut the budget significantly, and maybe even go straight to the HBO Max. Because it's going to continue to fall in the box office, and just a lot of negative press every time that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they could find a way to get... I mean, if they could do Cursed Child, they'd make a ton of money, but...
They're waiting on that.
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe doesn't want to do that right now anyway.
Yeah, but if they can find a way to get back to, like, the original Harry Potter series, I think that they would find that they still have that cash cow there. It's just, I think Fantastic Beasts has worn out all of the goodwill towards the Harry Potter franchise.
I
think
would
people,
agree if it wasn't for like Universal Studios and all that kind of stuff, and the Broadway play, which still do big business. But yes, on film, yeah, I agree with you.
yeah, I guess what I didn't mean to say like Harry Potter can still make money. I think people were going to see Fantastic Beasts because of Harry Potter, and I think
Now they're
Fantastic
not.
Beasts is losing that momentum of the Harry Potter.
Yes.
But I think Harry Potter, like I said, if you do Cursed Child or like some other series that gets back to the original Harry Potter franchise, I think that movie would make a ton of money still.
Hmm. Yeah.
I just think Fantastic Beasts had probably run its course. No one really cares about that franchise
Yep.
anymore.
Agreed. All right. Uh, let's get into the feature presentation then. Enough about Fantastic Beasts. Let's do our summer box office draft. So we've got 24 films total that we're going to be drafting. 8 films per person. One movie is going to count as 2 movies, and that is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, because we know how well its pre-sales are doing so far, which is better than Batman. So for that reason, that will count as 2 films. The winner will be getting, we're each putting in $25. The winner will get the pot for an AMC gift card. Other than that, the draft order is myself at number 1 again, followed by Corey at number 2 and Doug at number 3. It's going to do wraparound rules, so it'll go 1, 2, 3, and then Doug will have another pick, and then Corey and me, and then back to the original order. So like a snake, back and forth. Right now, we're going to run through the films that we have in contention. We have more than 25 eligible films on here. We're lucky we didn't do this a few weeks ago because a couple movies have already been purchased by streaming. A couple comedies, Shotgun Wedding with Jennifer Lopez, and I forget the other one's title, but it's with Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson, and that one got purchased by Netflix, probably for an obscene amount of money. Yeah, we now know Thor is officially coming out this summer, which was one of the big question marks. So hopefully not too many of the movies we pick will get purchased by streamers, because I'm not expecting any delays. The summer's pretty thin as far as movies go to theaters. Here's what we got. We've got Doctor Strange. We have Firestarter, remake of the Stephen King book / horror movie in the 80s. Downton Abbey, A New Era, a sequel to the television adaptation. Men, a new A24 horror movie. Top Gun Maverick, the sequel to 1986's biggest movie of the year. The Bob's Burger movie, which is an adaptation of the Fox cartoon program. Jurassic World Dominion, the 3rd Jurassic World film, and 6th in the Jurassic Park franchise. Lightyear, the adaptation of Buzz Lightyear's character from the Toy Story franchise. Elvis, Baz Luhrmann, Elvis Presley film with Tom Hanks. The Black Phone, a Blumhouse horror movie with Ethan Hawke, and from the director of Sinister and Doctor Strange. Minions: The Rise of Gru, another prequel movie in that series. From the Despicable Me series. The Forgiven, a drama with Jessica Chastain, and some other high-quality actors. Thor: Love and Thunder, which we talked about earlier. Where the Crawdads Sing, I believe it's a book adaptation for like adults or young adults. Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, another adaptation. Bed Rest, a horror movie with Melissa Barrera from Scream and In the Heights. Nope, the latest Jordan Peele film. Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank, an animated movie that is supposedly kind of a riff on Blazing Saddles, but with animals. Bullet Train, the new one from the director of Deadpool 2, starring Brad Pitt. DC League of Super Pets. They're an animated movie with DC Super Pets. Fairly straightforward. Vengeance. Say BJ. No, I think it's BJ Novak and Ashton Kutcher. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a movie, revenge type movie. Easter Sunday. I don't know why it's coming out this summer and didn't come out on Easter. Might get delayed. I wouldn't be surprised about that. To next April. It's a comedy.
What's that one about? It's a comedy?
Comedy. I forget who's in it. I think Little Rel Howery might be in it. Secret Headquarters deals with like a family type situation where I think the kids find out that parents are superheroes. Bodies, Bodies, another A24 horror movie with Pete Davidson. Beast. Anyone want to tell me what Beast is? Because I don't recall.
Yeah.
While you look that up, Samaritan. It's a one where Sylvester Stallone is a former superhero, and the kid from Euphoria is, I guess, like the one who plays like the little drug dealer. I guess he like awakens something in him. The Bride. If you can also look up The Bride, and if you can look up the rest of these movies, that would be helpful. They're all late August movies.
Yeah. Beast is it's like an action comedy. I think it's like a Bollywood action comedy.
That is definitely a different one. So assume this movie isn't going to actually come out this summer, since it's difficult to find anything about it.
So should we take it off the list?
Sure, because just take it off.
I think this is the same movie. It comes out April 12th.
It's not April. We're talking August.
Yeah, we'd be past that date already.
We'll take it off just because odds are none of us are going to pick it, and it probably won't come out. The Bride stars the girl from Game of Thrones, Sandra, Sandy, whatever her name is. It's a horror movie, I guess. A young woman is courted and swept off her feet, only to realize a Gothic conspiracy is afoot. On a Wind and a Prayer. What is that? It sounds like a religious movie.
What about Fear?
I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
I figured it'd probably be tougher to find the title for that one on a quick look. Prayer is Wing, not Wind. It is with Dennis Quaid. After a pilot died unexpectedly while flying the plane, a passenger is forced to land the plane safely in order to save his entire family. All right, so it's not remotely religious. I was wrong. Honk for Jesus and Save Your Soul. I know Regina Hall is in it.
It's probably religious, right? It's got Jesus.
It's a comedy with Sterling K. Brown and Regina Hall. My guess is it's not religious, but it has religious elements. Proud First Lady of a Southern Baptist megachurch. This woman carries immense responsibility on her shoulders. After a scandal involving her husband, the church is forced to temporarily close, leaving her struggling to manage the aftermath. Now she and her spouse must rebuild their congregation. All right, so maybe it's kind of serious.
Fear's a horror movie. August 26th it comes out. Much needed getaway and celebration weekend turns into a nightmare due to the contagious airborne threat.
Got it.
Fear. Yep.
All right. So those are all our movies. It's light. There are only so many that are going to be hits. So I don't think we're gonna have to worry too much about anyone getting sleeper movies. It's probably gonna come down to the big ones. All right. What do you say we get started? Doug, what was your prediction for my first pick? Unless you have any did either of you have any questions or anything like that?
Nope.
All right, Doug, what am I picking?
I had you as Jurassic Park.
That is correct. I am taking Jurassic World Dominion with the number 1 pick.
It's the obvious choice. I mean, Jurassic World made so much money, and Jurassic World 2 still made a lot of money. You've got the old cast back.
Yep. Yep. I can't see it making less than 500 million. Based on what you just said. First one made over 600, second one made over 400. This one is definitely going to be a rebound from the second one. It's what the entire purpose of this trilogy was. Dinosaurs on the world, all over the world. And it's bringing back the original cast members. It's a guaranteed hit, even if the internet doesn't talk about it like they talk about a ton of these other movies. General audiences love Jurassic Park.
Makes
So yeah,
sense.
that is number one for me. All right, Corey, and I will reiterate, Doctor Strange counts as 2 picks. So keep that in mind.
I'm going to take Lightyear.
All righty, Lightyear. It was definitely one of the ones that was on my high list of films. Doug, you are in quite the position now.
I mean, I'm not, because I gotta take Multiverse of Madness. I just gotta think what the... I realize that because I'm my position, I could still take 2 movies. I'll just lose my third pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I like for some reason wasn't thinking about. I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to take it as my first pick, and then I lose my second pick. So yeah, that was. I'm worried I'm gonna give you a gift.
Give who a gift, Corey or me?
Give you. Oh, it goes back to Corey, right?
Yeah, it goes back to Corey.
Let me just check something real quick. All right. I'm going to do Thor, followed by Multiverse of Madness.
That is a insane 1-2 pick. That is so good. You probably just won.
I like teetered on well, I'm not going to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just picked the 2 and 3 biggest movies of the summer. So yeah, you are in a good position, my friend.
Just make sure to block out one of my picks so we remember that I don't pick for.
Good point.
My third.
That is crazy because I never even thought about picking Doctor Strange as your second pick if it fell to you, but that's genius. I commend you for not just rushing and saying Doctor Strange first, because if you did, I would have wrote that shit down so fast and been like, nope, sorry, those are your 2 picks.
Yeah, it just occurred to me when we started. I was like, oh, I could make that my second pick.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would be screwed.
Yeah, and I had talked to you the other day about how the movie gets more valuable the lower it goes down. All right, cool. That is a sick 1-2. 1, 2, 3 for you essentially.
Yep.
Sick 1, 2, 3. All right, Corey, what do you got? We still have a lot of big movies on the table.
Yeah. Minions.
All right. Another big one that I was expecting in the top 7 or so. Yeah, I mean the last one made 300 million. Despicable Me franchise is pretty bulletproof. It's been a long time since the last one, so shouldn't be stale or anything like that. All right. Well, there were 7 big movies, and we have drafted 5 of them. As far as I'm concerned, there were 7 big movies this summer. So I will pick the next 2 of them, which are the last 2 of them, in my opinion. Top Gun Maverick and Nope.
Yep, that makes sense.
Top Gun Maverick. I mean, it's a sequel to the biggest movie the year it came out, but that year it came out was 1986. So we can't compare them. But it's a good flick, and people have been looking forward to it, anticipating it for a long time now. I think it'll do pretty well. And Nope, I mean, Jordan Peele movies, they average 170 million. Like, they both made like the exact same amount. So I'm expecting similar numbers for Nope. Maybe this will even like have a Signs like type of gross and make over 200 million, because he very much is having that like M. Night Shyamalan career so far.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, I'm happy with those 2 picks. Not happy that you got Doctor Strange and Thor, but I'm happy that I got them. All right. That means we are. Oh fuck! Hold on.
Doug had 3 in a row.
No,
Oh.
I either fucked that up or somebody just changed it to Doug. Corey, you are up.
God, this list got shitty really fast.
Oh yeah, it gets bad the moment 7 hit. Like, we get to 8, which we're on now.
I mean, one of these could be a hit, but ugh.
Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at these numbers right now, Doug, and right now, I think you and me are like probably very close to having the same box office gross from the movies we have on our list so far, from our first 3 picks.
I'm sure like Thor will bomb or something will happen.
Thor's not going to bomb. I mean, Ragnarok made over 300 million. He's even bigger than he was since then because the movie was so well received, and he was huge in the Avengers sequels.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thor,
I felt good about him.
I had Thor above Multiverse of Madness for this summer.
That's surprising.
Doctor Strange only made $200 million.
Yeah, this isn't really a Doctor Strange movie. It's kind of like calling Captain America Civil War a Captain America movie.
I don't see that at all yet from these trailers. Wanda is not like this mega character. That this would be closer to saying it's like Winter Soldier, which only made 240 million. Unless all these cameos all happen and like it makes people like have to go to the theater.
I think that's what this movie is going to be.
Yeah.
And I think
We'll
if it brings in the X-Men, even like a tease at the X-Men or Fantastic Four, like forget about it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you have $800 million between those 2 movies.
I would be happy
probably
with that.
Potentially more. And I think I probably have 800, 900 between the 3 I have.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Super Pets.
I had that at my 8th pick, so good one.
Yeah, that was gonna be my pick. God fucking damn it.
You are all in on animation this summer, Corey.
Yeah. That was.
But the animated movies that are hits nowadays are franchise related ones. So all three of yours qualify.
Yeah, the Marvel films. I was especially with Doctor Strange being the two picks. I was like back and forth about.
Mm-hmm.
And now the list continues to get shitty.
Oh
fast.
That was like the last good one.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty weak by the time it gets back to me.
We do Elvis.
Okay, that seems like a hit.
Who the hell knows?
Yeah, Buzz Lerman.
It's got Tom Hanks in it. Older people are going back to the theater.
Yeah, exactly. Corey?
Bob's Burgers is still available if you want to keep it animated.
I know.
there's two more animated movies on the list.
Yeah.
Bob's Burgers and Paws of Fury.
Yep. Let me look at something.
God, man, this list is such a shitty list. It's crazy how fast the list dropped. I don't even remember what half of these movies are about. We were Googling them as we were trying to describe what they were.
All right. Bob's Burgers.
All right. Corey's sticking with animation. The Bob's Burgers movie.
I think I know at least one movie that Murph's going to pick.
Well, I'm between three movies, and I got two to pick right now, but I know my first one's The Black Phone. Was that what you thought it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down.
I was in
wasn't
between
seeing
that and Bob's Burgers.
I was like, I knew you were eyeing it. I don't think so much because you think it's going to make a ton of money. It's just you want the movie to succeed. Is kind of what I had in my head.
I think it's going to do pretty well. I mean, the fact they got pushed from winter to summer shows they have a lot of faith in it. I think it could kind of cover the horror market for a month until Nope comes out. But yeah, I got that, and then this next one's a little tough because there's two movies that after these next two movies, I think it goes straight to shit.
I don't even see those two movies. So.
All right, I'm gonna go with the one that has proven success. I'm gonna take Downton Abbey.
Oh.
People like it. The first one did very well. I think it's
pick.
gonna make a good amount of money for like Mother's Day or whenever it comes out in May.
Yeah.
You were about to take that, Corey?
That was going to be my next one. Yeah. It's a good pick.
Thank you. Yeah, I had Bob's Burgers. If you didn't take Bob's Burgers, I would have taken it instead. If you took Downton Abbey, I would have taken Bob's Burgers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Corey, back to you.
God, this is terrible.
And again, these movies fucking suck now. I like that Elvis pick you had, Doug.
Thanks, man. It was.
I mean, I had Black Phone ahead of it, but I was hoping I would have got that as the second one for mine. Or I definitely would have taken it if Black Phone wasn't available. Like if you had taken it.
Yeah, I was hoping it would appeal more towards a general audience.
Hmm.
And like Tom Hanks, I don't know, I just felt like it had a broader audience appeal. Is the only reason
Yeah.
I took it a bet. But I would have liked to have Black Phone just because I want it to do well.
Yeah.
God, these movies are such fucking shit.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get a sleeper out of this, it'd be impressive.
All right, I'm gonna go with my girl. I'm gonna go with Bullet Train, Sandra Bullock.
All right, that was the last one that I had as good. That I'm confident will do at least okay. I had it. That was my 12th movie on my board.
Hopefully, yeah, that could make something. I mean, Sandra Bullock is so in again, so.
I don't think she's in much of the movie. I don't even think she's in the trailer. She might just be a voiceover.
Yeah, she definitely, her voice was at least in it. I don't think she was in the trailer, or like,
Yeah.
other than that, but yep.
Alrighty.
Yep.
I mean, it's Brad Pitt. Like, it should do well.
Yeah.
I was hoping that it was somehow going to fall back to me. Then I would have considered it like the steal of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I would have taken it just because of Brad Pitt.
Yeah. That's my logic.
Not having any other options.
So, Doug, you've got 2 right now.
I don't know, lucky me.
Yeah, they are really fucking bad now.
All right, I'm gonna do Paws of Fury.
Paws of Fury, the Legend of Hank.
The Legend of Hank.
I thought Corey was going to take it with the last pick, so he continued the animation.
I actually, well, I almost did, but then I broke it.
No, that pick made sense. I had it at 16 on my board, so pretty much right where you took it. So, Doug, including this pick, you have 3 to go. Corey, you have 3 to go.
3.
And and I have 3 to go. We are getting close to the end.
Fourth quarter.
Yep. Doug, are you looking up every movie again?
I wouldn't say I'm looking up every movie, but I'm looking up every movie. Gonna do, I guess, Secret Headquarters.
I don't know what to make of this one. Who's it in again?
It's got Owen Wilson and Michael Pena.
Good cast.
And it's distributed by Paramount. I don't know.
All
It's
right.
not an A24 movie.
Yeah, it'll probably end up on fucking Paramount Plus, like maybe even simultaneously. But
Probably.
it's a good cast, good premise. People like Owen Wilson. I think
Yeah,
that
who the hell knows?
at the 16 pick, I think it's safe. I had it at 17 on mine, so. Corey, it's you, and then me for my final wraparound.
I think I'm gonna go with Men.
All right, you're going A24.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I'm going to go with the more mainstream horror movie, Firestarter. I think Stephen King's name alone, it'll make some money at least in May.
I know that's a simultaneous release on Paramount, I think.
I didn't even know that. So good job, John. At least it's not HBO Max. 'Cause I didn't have any luck with that in the fall. It's simultaneously with Peacock.
Oh, Peacock.
Not too many people have Peacock. All right, and then for my second pick, I'll go with Where the Crawdads Sing. We saw the trailer last night.
Yeah.
Seems like people are aware that it's a thing because I guess it was a popular book.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my two: Firestarter and Where the Crawdads Sing.
It's my turn again.
It is your turn again. 2 to go for you, 2 to go for Doug, and 1 for me. I get the pathetic one left at the end.
Well, damn, this is quite a list that we have here.
Yeah.
I feel like Bodies came out already.
I don't think so.
Oh, premiered at South by Southwest in March. Okay. I'm gonna go with Vengeance.
God damn it, I was eyeing that one.
Yeah, you shouldn't highlight your movie, Doug, if you're planning on going for it.
I didn't highlight it.
Your name was like on top of it when I just went to copy and paste it.
Oh, I think maybe I was looking at it. I just noticed that the cast, it has BJ Novak, Dove Cameron, and Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
So I was like, those are
Well,
people
so
that
far,
other people know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so far every movie picked has been in my top 24, so we're all on the same page. What do we got left on eligible films? How many left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. And only 4 of them are being drafted. All right, Doug, your wraparound, your final 2 movies.
So I will take Samaritan.
That's the Stallone one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
I feel like that's an interesting one.
It's an interesting concept for sure.
And sorry, I'm just looking up the cast of one movie.
We never discussed the eligibility time frame, but we'll do the same as we did this past one, a month after like the season ends. So September 30th would be the end.
I'm gonna do Honk for Jesus.
Alrighty, that was on my list as well. So yeah, everyone so far, pending Corey's
There's
pick
an
right
audience
now,
there for that
is on my
movie
list.
that none of the other movies seem to satisfy. So maybe it'll find some footing.
Yeah.
And I'm getting desperate because these movies suck.
Yeah. All right. Corey's last pick and then my last pick. I'm really upset Corey didn't get Paws of Fury, so he could have went all animated.
Sorry, I had to put an end to it and just get that blockbuster that's going to be Paws of Fury: The Legend of Hank. That movie's going to be so bad. Mel Brooks is one of the voices.
Michael Cera is like the main voice, right?
Is he? I don't know.
I think so. I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah, Michael Cera's Hank.
I'm gonna go with The Forgiven.
Okay.
Jessica Chastain, Ray Fiennes, Rebecca Hall.
And then Murph's gonna do the Dennis Quaid movie.
No, I'm gonna do Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. The A24 Pete Davidson one.
I thought for some reason I was thinking Corey took Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
He
But I
talked
guess
about
not.
it.
Oh. Yeah, I had in my head that was gone.
Would you have taken it?
Probably not, but I might have
No.
picked that you were gonna take it.
All right. So none of us got the Dennis Quaid one. I was kind of like, that sounds like intriguing after like finding out what it actually was when we talked about it earlier. But yeah, no, I didn't take it.
You had to go with your boy Pete.
Exactly. Yeah, so the only movie that were drafted that wasn't on my list was The Forgiven, but that's just because I'm not big on like dramas right now. Like they're not doing very well, but maybe this will be a turnaround because there really isn't any this summer. So I think at least one drama has to do well, other than like Elvis. All right, that's our draft. How did everyone think they did? We want to go over your picks and stuff. Any commentary or no? Why you went the way you did, maybe?
Well,
Things like
I mean,
that.
I mentioned this before. I was on the fence with taking, not even really Thor, because Thor I would have taken if it was there, my second go around.
Mhm.
But Doctor Strange, I was on the fence because, I was going to lose 2 picks, and just the way that the draft like played out, like with how we were picking, it didn't seem like it really would have been helpful for me if I went Doctor Strange. I probably would have
Yeah.
screwed me, I think, with the way that everything worked, like played out with how we were picking. So I think I did pretty well. I think I have, a bunch of movies that can make a lot of money. Will they make more money than Doctor Strange and Thor and Jurassic World? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I was hoping Lightyear would have fell to me in the second one, but I didn't think it was actually going to happen. I thought Doug was going to end up getting it.
Yeah, I might have taken it over Thor. Actually, if I had thought about it.
Yeah.
But
because I do think it's going to be a big hit.
Yeah, Toy Story. Even Toy Story 4 made a lot of money.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so you went all in on animated. I went all in on like scares. I got Bodies, 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 Firestarter, The Black Phone, Nope, Jurassic World, even fucking Where the Crawdad Sings involves murder. And then I got Downton Abbey, the random outlier. So yeah, I mean, I explained why I took Jurassic World where I did. I think I've talked the most throughout this about picks and why I think they're going to do well. So, Doug, I'll let you go if you have anything else to say. But,
I mean, looking back at the draft, I don't think I had a choice. Like, there was no other option for me but to take Doctor Strange as my fourth pick, because picking on that third pick, by the time it would have came back to me, everything's already, like, all the really enticing stuff was off the board already. I mean, I took Elvis by the time it came back around to me. Like, that's where we were.
Mm-hmm.
So, looking back at it, I feel like that was the only play really for me to make, was to give up my third pick so that I could have a shot at two of the top tier movies. But yeah, after like 7, it goes off a cliff. Or after 7, it goes off a cliff. I still like DC League of Super Pets. I was hoping I could grab that one.
Yeah.
But
my
I was hoping it somehow would have made its way back to me.
My initial logic with a lot of these, especially in the beginning, was that I think they're gonna have legs. So that's what I'm hoping for. And I was trying not to step on toes, like with when they were going to be coming out. So I tried to stagger as much as possible.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't look at when any of these are coming out. So, but that is a good strategy to try to stagger it out, because it sucks sometimes having your movies all compete against each other. Yeah, it's interesting looking back at it. It's like there's a group of 7 that I would say are top tier, then another group of 7 that look like they're mid tier, and then it just like completely falls off the cliff.
Yep.
Yeah, there's not really any.
Where I take Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank, is where it like it just went off that cliff.
100% agree with that.
There's not really any potential surprises. I mean, there probably will be at least one, I would imagine, that will end up being a surprise. But
that can make all the difference, is that one surprise.
Like Downton Abbey was a good one. That one I really wanted, but I wasn't willing to.
I had that in that second tier that Doug mentioned. And I imagine all 3 of us had it in that second tier. Like,
yeah, I mean, if I could have gotten that above,
I had Bob's Burgers
Paws
in
of
that second.
Fury,
Yeah, exactly.
Not really a ton of missteps. Like usually there's a misstep that allows like one of us to get higher up than we should be able to get, and it seems like things fell where you would expect them to. So
I think, Corey, correct me if I'm wrong, but when Doug said I was thinking about taking Minions, is that what made you take Minions?
I was thinking about it. I was just thinking.
I was wondering if Doug fucked up there.
No, I was in between. What was it? That and Top Gun.
Because I thought you were going to take Top Gun. I was fully expecting you to take it in the first 2 rounds. So and have the two flying hero movies with Lightyear and Top Gun.
The main reason why I ended up taking Minions was because I looked at the box office for all the other movies and I was like, oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, they're like it's like a bulletproof franchise.
Yeah. So
I was fully planning on taking it if it fell to me for the second or third round. All right. So yeah, I think we're gonna have a very close competition.
It's very competitive this time.
Yeah. This is gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, best of luck, gentlemen.
Thank you.
that's all we have for today. So thank you for listening. We are going to be doing a new installment of our yearly film series for 2021 right after this episode, which can be found only on Twitch when we record it and on YouTube. This is where we focus on movies, one movie each, where we found the most, where we got something out of it that we found it memorable, like enjoyed it a lot, or something else. So stay tuned for that. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, so you can submit your own films for things such as this when we talk about them. I know we usually have a couple of listeners that always send in their picks for when we do our yearly film series for 1980 through 2020 over the past couple of years. As for our next episode, we're going to the Liberty Film Club will be returning with on Her Majesty's Secret Service, the James Bond film with George Lazenby. That one isn't available to stream anywhere, but you can rent it on all the various platforms like Amazon, Apple, etc. For a minimal amount of money. If you want to, if you haven't seen it and want to join the conversation, if you have seen it already, join the conversation. We'll either be meeting next week or the week after about that to talk about that episode or to talk about that film. But yeah, anything else, guys, that I missed?
No, I think that's it.
Yep.
All right.
I think we're good. So
cool. And as always, this has been Corey, Doug, and Murph at Live Breathe Film. We'll see you again next time, movie lovers.
Bye.